right. So, I want to talk about. I wasn't going to talk about it, then I thought, I'm going to talk about it because I actually was very impressed with Quan Chi's. He doesn't look as menacing as he did in previous games, though. That's probably the only criticism I really have of him. He doesn't look as menacing as he did before, right? He literally looks like the bad guy from Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, cosplaying as someone else. The voice, or sorry, likeness actor that played as Quan Chi is awesome. He seems like a really cool dude. So that's pretty cool, but his moveset is actually really good. So, like, when you're waiting for a character to come back, you always hope that, you know, previous moves that they've had before will make a return. And he seems to have them in spades, which is really nice. And also, they've done things like where just some of his standard moves, right, actually, like, will pull out, like, you know, either the tentacle, you know, appendage monster from the Netherrealm, or skeletons will appear, which is cool. It's something that they, like, when Quan Chi did his skull wall in Deception's intro, I always wanted that as a kind of move, a defensive move for him, right? So it looks like he's definitely pulling in, like, you know, like leaning into that lore of his sorcery, which is awesome. I think the portrayal of him in this looks really good. I think the portrayal of Shang Tsung in this is probably the best we've ever had. So, again, I've said this before, the character design is pretty good, except for, like, the females, because they're, like, terrified of sexiness. And, like, feminine faces, right? So anyway, a lot of his sort of standard moves has kind of like this skeletal effect, or, like, monster effect from the Netherrealm, which is nice, right? And he's really leaning into a couple of bits that came in from MK10 with his portal work, which is fine. That's good. But as far as, like, his special moves go, right, so they're just doing some combos here, because, you know, all that matters to these people is combo, right? He does have he's got his skull back. That's the first special move they showcase. He's got a grab. There's his skull, right? So he's got a skull. He can make it big. Every time they did this skull on the stream, he's like, "Ning, ning, 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 ning," like the dude on the couch. It's like, shut up. Just shut up, right? It's like they're talking to, like, you know, primary schoolers, right? He can do his air skull as well, which is cool. That's giving me some Cabal MK3 vibes. MK11 vibes. I had a lot of fun with Cabal. Apparently, there's a sensitive spot for sloppy seconds when it comes to the mentioning of Cabal. I just like the character for the same reason I like Quan Chi. He's a badass character, right? Now, sometimes I am, like, I guess it makes sense, right? Because, like, you know, like, Shang Tsung summons skulls from his hands. You don't want Quan Chi to do it, even though Quan Chi has done it in the past. I think in MK9 he did it, but yeah, so yeah, I guess it's good the differentiating of that. So his skull comes from his skull, which is cool. So it always looks a little strange for me, but whatever. Anyway, so he's also got this other move where this thing called the bone cage, right? I don't think it hurts you. I don't think they said it hurts you, right? So I'd have to try it out later when it comes out to figure out, you know, what's going on, right? Like, what's the purpose of it? Looks like he can jump out of it though when they're enhanced or non-enhanced version. I don't know, right? But yeah, so definitely leaning. I wonder if the air skull will be classed as an overhead. Well, boy, it doesn't take long till you find the nerve of the community. I tell you what, man. Right. They're gonna perish on that hill. He's also got his teleport stomp. Right. Simple bang, crack, straight in the head. Now, there's the enhanced version. It's I don't think they said anything else. Let's see what they said in relation to that. Right. So he's got a teleport drop, yep. Straight from MK4, yep. Right. Remember in MK was the MK4 version where he'd like dance on him? That was funny. Nah. Anyway, right. The armored. Oh, so the EX one he can do from the air or the sky. Isn't that the sky? So. Or maybe you can do it in either one, I don't know, right? See, the problem I have with the armored moves in this game is that unlike previous games where you could use any move, and it felt like it was viable, a lot of the armored moves in this game only come down to one that's genuinely good, which is a real shame, right? So I do love the return. So he's got everything as far as I wanted back, as far as Quan Chi's goes, right? He's also got he's also been given like vertical skulls, right? So he shoots it through the floor and it comes in from the top, right? You can do different directions. So that's not bad. I actually like that over, because in MK9 he had like a blast move. It's very sort of generic blast, but this feels more in line with the lore and sort of like the idea of Quan Chi's. Right? Looks like when it's enhanced it pops them up. So yeah, you could be really annoying with this guy. Right, we know what the combo clowns are going to do though. You know that, right? And you know when I say combo clowns, you know that. I mean, I'm talking about the people who are going, well, if I'm not taking off 500 damage, this is a broken game. This is a terrible game. I'm not having fun, bro. How am I able to beat people with my cheap-ass mechanics and tactics? So I like the fact that he's got that. That's pretty cool. He's also got, yeah, I think I said before, he's got that phallic move from the Netherrealm. Right, which is cool. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like he's going to be a lot of fun. As far as like as far as the character design, it's pretty good. Special moves on point. As far as special moves go, yeah, he's on point. He's amazing, right? Then he also has this ability. Now this is where this is where I got it wrong and I got it right. So obviously, he creates this buff from the Netherrealm, which then changes the mechanics or properties of some of his moves, right? So then when he does his forward skull, it does 3, right? When he does his ground one, it does 3 coming down from an angle, okay? He can also do the air one that's changed it, and it can also eat. I think that one does eat through fireball. Hang on, what? What does that do? What does that do? Hang on, let me check. So the big one, what's the big one do? Hits him. Oh, that's cool. So the big one like munches him out, right? Big old pussy eater, right? Just and then he comes through the top. Okay. So he's going to be fun to use, and then you're going to get online and some clown will find the most optimal combo, and then everyone else will copy it, and then you'll end up hating him. This is ultimately the problem with this game, right? Is that people don't play with a whole variety of freedom. They only choose the most optimal path, right? Which sucks, because then it becomes very boring and very stale when you're fighting people online. That's why I asked for more defensive options to break up that monotony to make it more exciting, but apparently the pros know best. Right. Looks like he's got access to 2 buffs. Would that be correct? Because he did in previous games. Right, he opens up the purple portal. And he opens up a green one. What is that? What are they saying on that again? Let's see what they're saying. He's got an EX version of it. Oh, okay, yeah. So the EX version, right? So it's a repelling force. That's right. Oh, yeah. So they can't even move. Yeah. So watch this, right? So when that portal's EX'd, see how it moves forward, right? They can't actually. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's pretty cool. That can be very irritating. Then obviously he's got his throw. Hang on. Which is a very Quan Chi's throw. Right. And then he does his I do like those kicks and stuff where he's absolutely using portals to his fullest degree. It's very cool. Right. I have a feeling though he's going to be weight-wise, he's going to feel like anywhere between Reiko and Havoc. Yeah, I think he's going to have a little around the middle. Right. And then you got the X-ray for both of them, obviously. Non-discriminatory. X-ray. Wow. I do miss it when they call them X-rays. Fatal blows. Right. And then I think that's all he's got. I think it could be a lot of fun, right? So then we've got Khameleon, right? Now I was correct about this. This part I was correct about. So Khameleon randomly changes between all 3 forms. So you have to keep an eye out on which one is up. From there, you can then utilize whichever moves that she has. Like Jade's Boomerang, Jade's, invincibility, shield, Melina's roll. Katana also has a fan lift as well, so she can actually lift you up, which is kind of crazy. So it creates a random element in the game. But again, I don't know if that gimmick's gonna, I don't know how well it'll play out, right? Because you can't specifically choose. I do like that, because that's the way Chameleon is. Chameleon is like that. That was part of the gimmick of Chameleon. You couldn't choose. You had to change your tactics and fight based on what color either male or female version were. So I do like that they kept that, but as far as like cameos go, I don't know, right? So yeah, so she's got, I don't know how many moves each one has. Is it 2 or 3 for each variation? Right, so we've seen Katana, she's got her fan throw, she's got a fan lift, we've got Jade with a boomerang and her invincibility shield for you. Then we got Melina with the roll. Right? Please stop doing that. Boy, every day I just wish there was a 1v1 mode. That's why I fight just using my main character. I don't use a cameo. The cameo is just there for digital, what do you call it? Digital artwork in the background for me. Right? I don't give a shit about using cameo. So when I look at Quan Chi's, I go, yep, can I use him? Can I beat people with him? Right? So, he does, do they showcase his kick? He's got like a standard kick that basically comes in from behind. Right? Which is going to annoy the piss out of people. Right? I'm assuming you're going to be able to duck it. So for the uninitiated, you probably, like, yeah, you get hit, but if you can duck it, you'll be able to block it, obviously. But if you can duck it, that will be fine. And it looks like it's kind of interesting too, because some of his combos don't require you to be on them, because he's pulling through portals and stuff to access his, like, penis monster. Right? I do like the fact that they're pulling from the Netherrealm when he's doing attacks. Right? He's got some... I think there was another special move there too. Did they say that was a special move? Or just simply just like this overhead that he can do, right? Where he can charge it. So yeah, moveset wise, he looks like a lot of fun. There's the kick. There we go. It's pretty high. Yeah, you should be able to duck that easily, right? It's got a little bit of a wind up, so you should be able to see it coming. But yeah, you should be able to duck that just fine. So, but we know what's going to happen. We know we're going to end up with the same combination on Vine. But as I have been saying myself, and I should be saying more actually, fight the way you want to fight. Right? Don't feel like you're being corralled, and the only way that you can actually get through this game is by being the way that other people are. They talk about freedom. Well, then see if you can work around it. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But that's part of the fun of fighting games, right? I don't go with the flow like everyone else does. Not everyone else, but some people do. Right? Because it's boring. Look how big ass that skull is, man. That's huge. So, anyway guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time.